The Economic Community of Central African States, ECCAS, or Communauté économique des États d'Afrique centrale, CEEAC, is an economic community of African Union for promotion of regional economic cooperation in Central Africa. It aims to achieve collective autonomy, raise the standard of living of its population, and maintain economic stability through harmonious cooperation. The Custom and Economic Union of Central Africa, or UDEAC from its name in French, established by Brazzaville Treaty in 1964, formed as a custom union with free trade between members and common external tariff for imports from other countries. The treaty became effective in 1966 after it was ratified by the then 5 member countries: Cameroon, Central African Republic, Chad, the Republic of Congo, and Gabon. Equatorial Guinea joined the Union on 19 December 1983. UDEAC signed a treaty for the establishment of Economic and Monetary Community of Central Africa, CEEAC, to promote the entire process of sub-region integration through the forming of monetary union with the Central Africa CFA franc as a common currency. It was officially supervised by CEEAC in June 1999 through agreement from 1994. CEEAC currently operates a custom union and monetary union. The common market is in place, but many exceptions to the tariff-free regime still exist. At a summit meeting in December 1981, the leaders of UDEAC agreed in principle to form a wider economic community of Central African states. ECCAS was established on 18 October 1983 by UDEAC members, Sao Tome and Principe, and the members of Economic Community of Great Lakes, CEPGL, established in 1976 by the DRC, Congo, Burundi, and Rwanda. Angola remained an observer until 1999 when it became a full member. ECCAS began functioning in 1985, but was inactive for several years because of financial difficulties, non-payment of membership fee by the member states, and the conflicts in the Great Lakes area. The war in DRC Congo was particularly divisive as Rwanda and Angola fought on opposition sides. ECCAS have been designated a pillar of African Economic Community, but formal contact between the AEC and ECCAS was only established in October 1999 due to the inactivity of ECCAS since 1992. ECCAS signed the Protocol on Relations between the AEC and the regional blocs (ECs) in October 1999. The AEC again confirmed the importance of ECCAS as the major economic community in the Central Africa at the third preparatory meeting of its Economic and Social Council in June 1999. Presided over by President Pierre Buyoya of Burundi, the summit was held in Brazzaville on 6 February 1998. The heads of state and governments present at the summit committed themselves to the resurrection of the organization. The Prime Minister of Angola also indicated that his country would become a full-fledged member The summit approved a budget of 10 million French francs for 1998 and requested the Secretariat to obtain assistance from UNESA to evaluate the operational activity of the Secretariat, to evaluate the contribution due by member states and the salaries and the salary structure of employees of the Secretariat. Convene an extraordinary meeting of councils of ministers as soon as possible to evaluate the recommendation of UNESCA. The council should then draw up proposals for a new administrative structure for the Secretariat and the revised contribution due by each member state. The summit also requested the countries in the region to find lasting and peaceful solutions to their political problems. The chairman also appealed to member countries to support the complete lifting of the embargo placed on his country. During the inaugural of President Bongo of Gabon on 21st January 1999, a mini-summit of ECCAS leaders was held. The leaders discussed problems concerning the functions of ECCAS and the creation of a third Deputy Secretary General post designated for Angola. Angola formally joined the community during this summit. The 10th ordinary session of heads of state and governments took place in Malabo in June 2002. This summit decided to adopt a protocol on the establishment of a network of parliamentarians of Central African and to adopt the standing orders of the Council for Peace and Security in Central Africa, including the Defense and Security Commission, Multinational Force of Central Africa, and the Early Warning Mechanism of Central Africa. Rwanda was also officially welcomed upon its return as a full member of ECCAS. On January 24th, 2003, the European Union concluded a financial agreement with ECCAS and the CEEAC, condition on ECCAS and the CEEAC merging into one organization, with CEEAC taking responsibility for the peace and security of the sub-region through its security pact, COPAX. CEEAC is not one of the pillars of the East African not a part of African Economic Community, but its members are associated with it through Economic Community of Central African States. The EU had multiple peacekeeping missions in the DRC Congo Operation Artemis June to September 2003, Europol Kinshasa from October 2003, and the USAID DR Congo from May 2005. The 11th ordinary session of heads of state and governments in Brazzaville during January 2004 welcomed the fact that the protocol relating to the establishment of a Council for Peace and Security in Central Africa, COPAX, had received the required number of ratifications to enter into force. The summit also adopted a declaration on the implementation of NEPAD in the Central Africa, as well as declaration on gender equality. On September 23rd, 2009, pursuant to Presidential Determination 2009-2026, and as published in the Federal Register, Presidential Document 48363, ECCAS was made eligible under the U.S. Arms Export Control Act for the furnishing of defense article and defense service. This makes the ECCAS organization and theoretically the country under their chapter eligible for U.S. foreign military sales program, the government-to-government sales and assistance, pursuant to the Arms Export Control Act, and for other such U.S. assistance as directed by a USG contract to U.S. industry for such support pursuant to the ITAR. In 2007, Rwanda decided to leave the organization in order to remove overlap in its membership in regional trade blocs and so that it could better focus on its membership in the East African Community and COMESA. Rwanda was a founding member of the organization and had been a part of it since 18 October 1991. It subsequently rejoined ECCAS in 2016. The Economic and Monetary Community of Central Africa (CEEAC) from its name in French, Communauté économique et monétaire d'Afrique centrale, is an organization of states of Central Africa established by Cameroon, Central African Republic, Chad, Republic of Congo, Equatorial Guinea, and Gabon to operate economic integration among countries that share a common currency, the CFA franc. UDES signed a treaty for the establishment of CFA to promote the entire process of sub-region integration through the forming of monetary union with the Central Africa CFA franc as a common currency. It was officially superseded by CEEAC in June 1999 through agreement from 1994. CEEAC's objectives are to promote the promotion of trade, the institution of genuine common market, and greater solidarity among peoples and towards underprivileged countries and regions. In 1994, it succeeded in introducing quota restrictions and reduction in the range and amount of tariff. Currently, CEEAC countries share a common financial, regulatory, and legal structure and maintain a common external tariff on imports from non-CEEAC countries. In theory, tariffs have been eliminated on trade with CEEAC, but full implementation of this have been delayed. Movement of capital within CEEAC is free. ECCAS member includes Angola, Burundi, Cameroon, Central Africa, Chad, DRC Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Gabon, Republic of Congo, Rwanda, and Tome and Principe. Its objectives: the ultimate goal of the Central African Community Market at Malabo Heads of State and Government Conference in 1989. 4 priority fields for the organization were identified: to develop capacity to maintain peace, security, and stability as essential prerequisites for economic and social development, to develop physical, economic, and monetary integration, to develop a culture of human integration, to establish an autonomous financing mechanism for ECCAS. Its structure is made up of Conference of Heads of States and Governments, Council of Ministers, Secretariat General, 1 Secretary General elected for 4 years, and 3 Assistant Secretaries General, Courts of Justice, Consultative Commission. Its treaty and protocols: Treaty establishing the Economic Community of Central African States, Protocol establishing the network of parliamentarians of ECCAS, Mutual Assistance Pact between member states of ECCAS, Protocol relating to the establishment of a mutual security pact in Central Africa. Central African states adopt a pact of non-aggression at the end of fifth meeting of UN Consultative Committee on Security in Central Africa held in Yaoundé, Cameroon. The pact, adopted on 9 September 1994, was arrived at after 5 days of meeting and discussion between military experts and ministers of Cameroon, Central Africa, Republic of Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Gabon, and Tome Principe, at a summit conference of United Nations Standard Advisory Committee on Security Questions in Central Africa, which took place in Yaoundé on 25-26 February 1999. Member states decided to create an organization for promotion, maintenance, and consolidation of peace and security in Central Africa, which would be called the Council for Peace and Security in Central Africa. COPAX. The COPAX protocol was now entered into the force. Technical organs of COPAX Council, the Central African Early Warning System (MALAC), which collects and analyzes data for early detection and prevention of crises. The Defense and Security Commission, which is the meeting of chiefs of staff of national armies and commander-in-chiefs of police and gendarmerie forces from the different member states. Its role is to plan, organize, and provide advice to the decision-making bodies of the community in order to initiate military operations if needed. Multinational Force of Central Africa, which is a non-permanent force consisting of military contingents from member states whose purpose is to accomplish missions of peace, security, and humanitarian relief. The standing order for COPAX, including those of CDS, MARAC, and FOMAC, were adopted in June 2002 at the 10th Ordinary Summit in Malabo. In January 2000, Gabon hosted a regional peacekeeping exercise, Gabon 2000, with the objective of increasing the capacity of ECCAS states in the field of peacekeeping and conflict prevention and management. This exercise represented a direct application of French recamp concept reinforcing of African peacekeeping capacities. Extraordinary summit of both ECCAS and CEEAC took place in Libreville on 23 June 2000. Foreign ministers from 10 Central African states meet in Democratic Republic of Congo on 16 and 17 August 2001 to discuss the security in their Tome region. The meeting was sponsored by the United Nations and only Rwanda declined to attend. A meeting of defense chiefs of staff were held in Brazzaville in October 2003, at which it was decided that a brigade-sized peacekeeping force would be created in order to intervene in an unstable Central African area. This could then form one of the African Union's 5 planned brigades of the African Standby Force, 1 brigade for each region: North, West, Central, East, and Southern Africa. The meeting recommended that military planners from each of ECCAS states form a group to work out the details of the force. They also suggested the establishment of a joint peacekeeping training center and a military exercise every 2 years. The first of these is to take place in Chad. MICOPAX, the mission for the consolidation of peace in Central African Republic. MICOPAX is a peace operation in Central African Republic led by ECCAS. It involved the Central African Republic Bush War and 2012-2013 Central African Republic conflict. Thank you for being with us. Today we have focused about economic community of Central African states in French Communauté économique des États de Afrique centrale, with administrative center in Gabon, Libreville. They use 4 languages: French, English, Portuguese, and Spanish, with 11 state members. Its current Secretary General Ahmed Arami. Thank you very much for being with us. See you in other upcoming videos, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share so that others can watch this. Thank you very much, and see you in other upcoming videos. Bye.